Well, having spent so much in the just month of November that just ended, I can say that living abroad can be more challenging, more difficult when you don't have a car, when you have to go to work, go for your shopping, school runs, do all the family errands without a car. However, it's not about the total amount of money I've spent in the last 30 days that is my concern in this content. Honestly, the stress is much something that makes me want to cry at times. I remember last week I was called to go to work in Hartlepool. Hartlepool by car is 25 minutes away from here, and by bus is almost 2 hours from my address. I have to enter up to 3 different buses. As an agency worker, I was called to go for that shift in the morning, 7:30. I was already getting my boy ready for school. And that shift, the booking was supposed to start for me 8:30 a.m. because it was in a primary school and not secondary, 8:30 a.m. So what I did was to book a day bus ticket, £6.80, going to Hartlepool. I was going to use that ticket to go to Hartlepool, come back again. So 6 buses in a whole, to and fro, times 3. Is it times 2? So I started my journey. I honestly left my first bus stop here before 8 a.m. in the morning because I took my son to a family that would help me take him to school for breakfast club, which starts 8 a.m. on the dot in his school. So I took off before 8. Then I got to my high street at 8:06. Unfortunately, I had already missed the first bus that was going to Hartlepool. I had to wait for the next one. I was right there on my high street until 8:30 a.m. in the morning when I was supposed to have started that shift at 8:30 a.m. in the morning. Teachers start 8:30, and the school, students or pupils, they come in 8:40, register 9 a.m. Guess when I got to that school? Few minutes past 10, about 2 minutes or 3 minutes past 10 a.m. I wasn't really troubled on my way going while sitting on the bus. I was not worried. I was like, 2 things are gonna happen to me. It's either they ask me to go back home, or they deduct money from the number of the hours, yes, I will be working on that day. So I was so relaxed. To be honest, days are gone when I will be going late to work and I will be panicking, especially with agencies, or working as a supply, because sometimes they call you on that day of that shift. If they pre-book me ahead, like today is Sunday, I know that I'll be working tomorrow. On Tuesday, I'll prepare myself, make my dinner, pack everything, make arrangements for who would help me with my child at school, morning and afternoon, if I won't be able to meet up to get him after school, But that morning, no, it's never a good day or a good moment for me to start rushing to work. So I don't get bothered when I'm going late. Yes, I will just get there and tell them sorry. Though it is expected that when you are going late to work or running late to work, either you call your agency or you call the workplace to say, sorry, I am running a little bit late because of traffic or because of that. But these days, when that school called my agency on that morning, and my agency will call me on the same morning, I know they call them. Until I get there, I will say, sorry that I was late, blah, blah, blah. So I got there. They welcomed me, they received me even when it was past 10. To be honest with you, I've never ever been late to work for an hour plus. It could be 30 minutes. It could be 45 minutes, but almost 2 hours. Okay, 1 hour, 30 minutes. I've never been to work 10 o'clock. I could get there 9 o'clock, a few minutes past 9, or even 8:45, Especially when I have to start 8:30, 8 o'clock. Usually I catch up with time. So that day was really terrible for me. And I spent money as well, And the recent video I made about the day I went to work, that was on Friday. I paid for Uber and blah, blah, blah. And yet I got there, the school was on a PD. If you haven't seen that video, I was asked to go back. Though my agency, they promised to top up money for me when next they are paying me, possibly next Friday, because I get paid weekly every Friday if I work. So guys, I decided to calculate the amount I've spent in a month. I know that I will be spending more in the month of December on transportation. I use Stagecoach and I use Uber. Yes, sometimes I would have my bus pass. Like this week I have my weekly bus pass that will be expiring on Tuesday. Yes, I bought it on Wednesday last week. It's just for a particular company, that's Stagecoach. I cannot use it on River. But in the month of November, I use both rivers, River, Arriva, and I use Stagecoach, Uber, T-Side card. And I checked this morning when I went through. I spent £184 point 73 pence. £184 73 pence. Over 400 and something thousand Nigerian naira in a month on transportation in the UK. I don't know, those of you that have a car, I don't know how much you spend on petrol in a month or in a week, because I believe that assuming I've been driving or I am driving, there's no way I could spend up to £200 in a month fueling my car. There's no way I could spend up to 150 in a month fueling my car and running my errands. What I do, school run, go to work, shopping. But then I've actually learned to plan my ways, plan my days or my weeks ahead of time, especially when I have bus pass. So what I do with that bus pass, I would go shopping, do my things and blah blah blah. Like this bus pass I bought on Wednesday last week. I used it that Wednesday. I used it on Thursday. I used it on Friday. I used it on Saturday. Yes, Saturday was yesterday. I took something for shopping, buy him a few shoes and blah blah blah. Church catechism, It's only today that I won't be using it because my church was just off a walking distance, and I'm happy to be in my house today because they don't do me waka waka for this country. It is killing, So the worst disadvantage of not having a car in this country is, you have just heard me when I stated that going to Hartlepool is just 25 minutes by car, and then by bus is 2 hours. Sometimes it will even exceed 2 hours. There's a place my other agency usually send me to go to work. That place is just 10 minutes drive from my house. Guess what? One of the days I finished work at 4 o'clock, and guess when I got home? 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Hi. That day I cried, and something was supposed to have its online lesson at 6 o'clock. I just called the guy and said, see, we can't help it, because somebody helped me to pick something from school. Usually when a boy comes back from school, you need to eat, relax before you think of another lesson, So I just told the guy, he can't just, because I just picked him up from where, from the house of the person that helped me, to get him from school. And he's been at someone's house, taking off his uniform. You want him to start another lesson. That was a no for me. I said no. I was so pissed. I was so pissed thinking about it. 10 minutes drive took me 2 hours, too long, 120 minutes to get home. So my piece of advice is this. Don't take my advice, my suggestion anyway. If you are getting to a country, a Western country, and you are already driving in your home country, Africa, if your country's driving license is something that is acceptable in that foreign world, please get a car. Yes, within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months at least. Within 3 months interval, just try and get a car. I know it is a difficult decision, but some people do it since they have a valid license. Like Nigerian license is something you could use in this country within the first 12 months. After the 12 months, it has expired. You have to do your practical driving test in the UK to get UK's license for you to be eligible for driving. For you to be eligible to drive in the UK. So if you just arrived in the foreign world, if you have the means to get a car, to be honest, buying a car in this country is the cheapest thing I've ever seen than buying a car in my home country. It's so cheap. You can get a 2K car that will take you around with the price of 2,000. So people got their cars less than 1,500, some 1,500. I'm talking about pounds. Some of them 2,000 plus. If you want a, them high cars, just get 5,000, 7,000. But for me now, If they leave me, now 1,500 car I want buy, or 2,000 pounds car. That's what I'm looking forward to buy. It's just this practical exam driving test stuff that is rubbishing my life here. You know, I don't want to talk about it now until in my subsequent videos I will tell you what happened to me the last time I took my test. Yes, that was just in November. You know, it was heartbreaking, but it's a video for another day. So please, how much do you spend average in a month running around your business in the UK if you don't have a car, especially when you have children? Honestly, if you sit at home, you may not have to spend transport money. If you are a sit-at-home mom, you don't go to work, and the school run, your children's schools are just within. Do you know I pay for my boy? You know, sometimes we walk because his school is just 20 minutes away from our house. But sometimes I like to walk him down, especially on the day I'm not going to work. Like on Wednesday this week, this new week, I won't be working. You know, I would walk him to school, because my bus pass will expire on Tuesday. So I wouldn't just want to get another one on that Wednesday, since I don't know what I'll be doing. Like as an agency worker, I put availability that I can work on Thursday, Friday, but they've not given me. I'm only sure of Monday and Tuesday now. You know, so Wednesday, needless of me buying that bus pass again, I will walk him to school. But assuming I had to get the bus with him, get on the bus, you know, they charge him 95p to his school, and if we were going to town, they charge him £1. You know, normally when, like yesterday that we went out, I had my bus pass. My boy, I have to buy him tickets. I bought him £3 tickets, because we will travel round and round. You know, we will be entering. We entered how many buses yesterday? From here to High Street, from High Street to Teesside Park, from Teesside Park back to High Street, from High Street. So 4 different buses. You know, so it saved me some money. Assuming I was paying one, I would have paid £4, but because I just bought a day ticket for him, I paid £3, you know, for him to have all them ride. Yes, so this is how I've been managing myself. It is not easy. It's only during holiday that they have free bus ticket, but an adult must have a day pass, you know. So guys, how much do you spend? Didn't they pay me pass? I don't know. You know, imagine £184. How much do I get for my monthly allowance? You know, yes, my husband gives me money for monthly allowance each month. Do you want me to tell you how much he gives me? In fact, all this money is gone already. I will show him this. He needs to see this so that he can top up something for us. Anyway, I go to work, you know, so that's another thing. If not for work, I wouldn't have been spending on Uber, blah blah blah. You know, Uber, they chop my money. Tomorrow, now that I'll be going to work, I'll use Uber, and I'll pay almost something like a few quids out of £20 to get to my workplace. You know, thank God I have a bus pass. So coming back, I will use my bus pass. Yes. It's not easy surviving in the Western country, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I'm not sure if there's anything you're taking away from this video, but then if you work 3 or 4 times in a week, you might consider getting a weekly bus pass. Yes, I think that would save you a lot of money, you know, because if I work 5 times in a week, and my day pass, it's usually £5.40. Imagine if I had to be paying £5.40 every day times 5 days in a week that I had to go to work. Calculate it and see the total amount. I'll put it on the screen here. I'm not a mathematician, but at least 5 times 5 is 5 times 5 something 30, I think, and plus the £4 that you put on top of it, you know. But I would usually buy this for £15.50. £15.50. You can imagine how much I've saved, you know. So if you work 3 times, 4 times in a week, buy a weekly bus pass, you must have saved half of the money you were supposed to spend. Yes, and if you are new to Obodo Oyibo, please buy a car if you have an international license that is allowed. Yes, but the only thing is that understanding the routes, you know, there are signs, road signs. Oh my God, the roads no be small thing. That's another thing that scare people from not buying car as soon as they arrive abroad, unless the ones that have lived in other Western countries. Yes, they take that risk. As soon as they are coming here, they buy that car and start driving around. Guys, this is it for this content. Thank you very much for your time. Have a beautiful month of Christmas, month of love ahead of you. Bye. Merry Christmas. I'm wearing my Christmas, what is it? Christmas jumper. This one a jumper and a cracker star. It's actually a Christmas thing, to be honest. Yeah, it's a gown. Oh.